Welcome back to the Superdome in New Orleans. Here's the coin toss.
Please call it while it's in the air. Coach Stram, would you please make the toss? Heads. Heads he calls. It is a head. You have won the toss. Which goal do you wish to defend? Step over here, please. Step over there. You want to kick that way? New England won the toss. They elected to receive. Good luck, men.
So New England win the toss. They'll get the ball first. We'll see what they do with it. The coin toss you saw there by Hank Stram, one of 6 coaches to win the 7 previous Super Bowls here. They were all represented out there. Among them, Mike Ditka. We saw this footage earlier of the Bears beating the Patriots in Super Bowl 20. He was the victorious coach then, and reports have him as the new coach of the New Orleans Saints. That hasn't been confirmed, and the NFL has actually asked reporters not to ask him, because one did earlier in the day and Ditka tried to punch him. We did catch up with him, not me personally, thankfully. Earlier in the day, we weren't so stupid as to ask him whether he was coaching the Saints, but we did ask him for a prediction on the game.
Well, I hope it's a good game. The 2 best teams are there. They both deserve to be there. I think it's going to be a lot closer game than people think, and I know Green Bay has done a great job, and they're a good football team, but I think New England also has earned the right to be here, and they're a good football team. I look at it about 24-17 Green Bay.
24-17 Green Bay. Marv, would you concur with that?
I'll make a prediction. Green Bay 34-24.
34-24, a high scorer. Jim, what about you?
I'm going to pick New England. I got a good feeling about New England in this game. I picked them winning 30-28.
30-28, a close one, with a Hail Mary at the end.
Absolutely.
I'm just sending up my annual prayer for a close game. Let's hope it is one. The New England Patriots about to receive the ball from the Green Bay Packers, so we won't see Desmond Howard running back the opening kickoff. Here it is, Super Bowl 31, with Pat Summerall and John Madden commentating for you.
Will kick it off for Green Bay. So Drew Bledsoe will have a chance to calm down first.
I don't think he'll calm down first. I think he'll get excited first.
It's going to be Graham at about the 4. And Graham is taken down around the 20. And let's look at that New England Patriot offense led by Drew Bledsoe. Big, tall, very, very good arm. Those who will protect him: Armstrong, Roberts, Wolbaugh, Todd Rucci, and Max Lane. And those who handle the ball: Curtis Martin, Keith Byers. The backs, the wide receivers: Jefferson and Terry Glenn, and tight end Ben Cokes. We'll check out the Packer defense in a moment. 2-time Pro Bowl selection Drew Bledsoe. The Packers come with a blitz on first carry. Martin, the ball carrier, stopped by Brian Williams. Let's look at that strong Packer defense. Jones, Brown, Dotson, and Reggie White up front. Front 4. Williams, Ron Cox in the middle, and Wayne Simmons. Evans, Robinson, Butler, and Newsom the secondary. It'll be 2nd and 10. Martin stopped for no gain on the first. And Bledsoe back to throw it. Man open. It's Jefferson. First down for the New England Patriots.
And that's what they were talking about, is getting Drew Bledsoe comfortable, and there's no better way to start off comfortable than a good completion. Here's Sean Jefferson here. He's going to run up, and then he's going to run in. It's a zone defense, so he just comes under control. Bledsoe hits him perfectly. But again, I talked about the line of scrimmage, and what's making him comfortable is good pass protection.
Martin stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain again on the first 2 rushes by the Patriots.
Well, they're really playing that line of scrimmage tough for that sweep. That the first sweep that they ran, the cornerback Greg Newsom, he came on a blitz, and they're getting their safety up there, Leroy Butler, on first down. So what they're trying to do on first down, the Packers, is take away that strong side sweep of the Patriots.
2nd and 10, passing down for Bledsoe. Byers split wide to the left. They run a draw play to Martin. He gets a couple. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 8.
See, I think that's one of the things that they're trying to do, Pat, here is to widen out. You see, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 wide receivers, and then all you have is a box here. Now, if there's just 5 guys in this box, then they want to run the ball. See, so that's exactly what they did. Spread them out to run the ball. Of course, it didn't work.
3rd and 9. They gave him a yard. So it's another passing down as they go with 4 wide receivers, including Coach. Bledsoe back to throw. Intended for Meggett. Incomplete. And the Patriots will have to punt.
I still think that was a pretty good start for the Patriots. So they got a first down. They got the ball, you know, outside the 35-yard line, so they're going to have pretty good field position. And I think that getting a first down, it's not a great start, but it's not a bad start.
So Tom Tupa back to punt for New England. They'll try to keep it away from the dangerous Desmond Howard. He has hurt a lot of people with punt returns this year. He kicks straight away. Howard's going to have a chance. And he's got some room. Desmond Howard with a good return up to the 45, knocked out of bounds there by the punter, Tupa.
Hey, you talk about offense and you talk about defense, but it can be special teams that can win big games too.
Special teams and turnovers. A 51-yard punt, a 32-yard return by Desmond Howard.
You British have started another revolution in my country. You bring us the same technology that you have. So these now get delivered to Europe a week faster than ever before. Long live the revolution.
I got travel insurance from the post office back home. I got it while I was picking up my traveller's checks, so I'm fully covered.
This overnight service from the UK really knocks me out.
Millie, the stripes, the stripes.
Clients just change their mind.
It's purple!
Overnight.
The post office, winning people over all over the world.
When your life flashes before your eyes, make sure you've got plenty to watch.
Welcome back to the Superdome. Well, Desmond Howard has had an early impression on the game, and as a result of his run back of the first New England punt, the Packers will start out their first drive from their own 45-yard line.
Punt return in Super Bowl history, 32 yards by Desmond Howard. Favre goes quickly. That's Edgar Bennett. He got perhaps a yard, no more than that. Let's look at Favre's Green Bay offense. What a year he had. The most valuable player in the NFL, Brett Favre. In front of him, Wilkerson, Taylor, Frank Winters, Adam Timmerman, and Earl Dotson. Wilkerson in recent weeks has been outstanding. Bennett and Henderson, the runners. Antonio Freeman and Andre Rison wide. Mark Shimura, the tight end. Bennett, the lone setback. 2 tight ends set up for the Packers, and Favre back to throw his first one. Rolling deep, has a man open. Andre Rison does the dance in, and Favre got settled down in a hurry.
That is the way to settle down. You know, sometimes they think you have to start with short passes. I've always said when you got a strong arm guy and you want to settle him down and he's anxious, just show it, throw a deep one. That's exactly what they did. Here's Andre Rison. He's in the slot. He's going to come up against Otis Smith there. He just makes a good, quick move to the post, just runs right by him. Brett Favre throws a perfect pass. That was maximum pass protection. They had 2 tight ends in. They kept them both in. They had one guy that they were going to take the shot to. It was going to be Brett Favre to Andre Rison.
54 yards from Favre to Rison. The extra point by Chris Jackie is good, and the Packers draw first blood. 54 yards from Favre to Rison. That'll settle you down.
It is said he is to computer software what Thomas Edison is to the light bulb. The software Bill Gates developed runs 2/3 of the computers in the world. And on the day he turned 41, his company, Microsoft, was bigger than Kodak, McDonald's, and IBM. Where in today's world do you find companies capable of such astonishing growth? Actually, there's a list of them on the World Wide Web. NASDAQ, the stock market for the next 100 years.
The new V40. Underneath, it's a Volvo.
It is said he is to computer software what Thomas Edison is to the light bulb. The software Bill Gates developed runs 2/3 of the computers in the world. And on the day he turned 41, his company, Microsoft, was the 6th largest company in the U.S. Where in today's world do you learn about companies capable of such astonishing growth? Actually, there's a list of them on the World Wide Web. NASDAQ, the stock market for the next 100 years.
Welcome back to New Orleans. It took them 2 plays to get 7 points on the board. The Packers taking advantage of the Patriots' early blitz. Brett Favre hitting Andre Rison with a 54-yard touchdown. And Craig Hentrick has just kicked off to, I think, Dave Meggett, who's kneeled down in the end zone. So the Patriots will have the ball at their own 20. Let's go back to Pat Summerall and John Madden.
Here's the coach, first of all, that gets that touchdown, Mike Holmgren of the Packers.
Not only the coach that gets the touchdown, but he's the coach that called the play that got the touchdown.
On the other side of the field, Bill Parcells. Let's see his reaction.
Well, I know the thing that he was worried about, as he said, I'm worried about them getting a big one. I'm worried about them getting deep on us. And lo and behold, it happens right off the bat to him.
And he also said if we do get behind, if they do get a big one, we can't be discouraged. Here's Bledsoe back to throw. Pressure on him. Gets it out to Curtis Martin. He picked up a yard. That's all. As the Packers reacted quickly.
You know, Pat, we talked earlier about how one of the things you can look for early is who's controlling the line of scrimmages. And so far, the Green Bay Packers are. I mean, you looked at that play on that touchdown, and they had all kinds of protection. And you watch the type of rush they have here. Gilbert Brown is dropping back. That's that zone blitz. And you say, who's covering Curtis Martin? It's 350-pound Gilbert Brown.
You're kind. At 350. Bledsoe. Picked off by the Packers. By Doug Evans. A one-handed juggling interception by Doug Evans, and the Packers get in good shape.
And the Packers are coming out here, and they're going after him. They aren't waiting around to see what's going to happen. I tell you, Doug Evans really got to jump on that one. Watch Doug Evans. He's going to be right here, and it's going to be an out on his side. They bring him in, but see how he starts to cover the out, and then right there he takes the jump. because at first he was behind the receiver, and then when he jumps the ball, he jumps right in front of the receiver. I tell you, that is confidence. The ball was going to Terry Glenn. Doug Evans had good coverage on him and then jumped it. Fritz Shermer, the defensive coordinator, is saying that's the way to jump that out.
1st and 10 at the New England 28-yard line. Favre back to throw it. Out of the pocket he comes, and down he goes. Back at the 38. He lost 10. Let's look at that New England defense. Things have been happening so fast, we didn't have a chance to do that. In front, Willie McGinnis, Sagapolitelli, Mark Wheeler, and Ferrick Collins. The linebackers, Collins, Johnson, and Slade. And the secondary, Otis Smith, Willie Clay, Lawyer Malloy, and Ty Law.
And of course, Otis Smith, he was a guy that was covering Andre Rison on that touchdown pass, but he had no help at all to the inside, no safety help at all.
2nd and 20, draw play. Dorsey Levens gets the carry and gets about 4 yards inside the New England 35-yard line.
Anytime you see number 27 in there, Scooter Magruder, the Patriots are in some kind of dime defense, and you see him in there now. They usually have 5, 6, and 7 defensive backs. See, and here they are. See, they have all their defense, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have 7 defensive backs in on that last one, and they'll probably be in the same type of defense now.
4 wide receivers this time. Favre, screen pass to Levens. This is what killed Carolina a couple of weeks ago. Levens gets inside the 20, about a yard shy of a first down.
You see where Brett Favre ended up? Here he is back there. He was way down on the 35-yard line. He gets back. You know, anytime you throw a screen pass, you want to invite the pass rush, and then you let your guy get out there, and then you keep going deep. And you see Brett Favre, he just kept going and going and going after he threw the ball to Dorsey Levens. Levens has really become quite a threat in this Packer offense in the last month or so.
So Chris Jackie comes on from 37 yards out with Hendrick holding to try to put 10 points on the board for Green Bay. And he does. Green Bay 10, New England nothing.
Well, 2 huge plays there, Marv, early in the game for the Packers. First the touchdown and then a great interception.
Yes, the interception and the punt return was a key play, along with the blitz pickup. Before it happened, by the way, our colleague here said, here comes the blitz, saw it coming.
There came the blitz, and after it, here came the interception, and you didn't think there was anything wrong with the throw, Jim?
I thought the throw was fine out in front of him, just a great break. Read the out cut, comes up and makes the interception. Coach Levy said that this game would be decided on 4 or 5 big plays. Well, Green Bay's already made 3 of the biggest ones so far in the game.
And that has to be a blow to the morale of the Patriots. They come in here, they've got this burden of a 12-game AFC losing streak on their shoulders. They're the underdogs. Everyone's telling them that Green Bay is going to blow them out. They pumped up their own confidence, and then this.
And then it happened. This coming series is going to be a very big one for the Patriots. Can they stabilize the situation? Can they get back under control? There's a long way to go. It's only 10-0. Can they move down even and get some points on the board? This is a very important series coming up for the Patriots.
Jim, you pointed out the blitz, or you said one was coming. It came, and it really hurt the Patriots, didn't it?
The Patriots did not disguise it very well. I mean, you could see it coming about 10 or 15 seconds before the ball was snapped. Obviously, Brett Favre saw it, got him into a maximum protection, and they went deep. Great move by Andre Rison getting open for the touchdown. And
the result there, Andre Rison's touchdown. Do you think Bledsoe, well, here we are, we're going to see Andre Rison's touchdown now, and he just blows by Otis Smith, doesn't he?
Blows by him. Favre hits him right in stride, and that's how quick. It's 7-0 right there.
What will Parcells be saying to try and calm people down? He's an experienced coach.
Oh, I don't know. You get up and get in their face right now. You sort of indicate that by your own demeanor that, hey, there's a long way to go. They didn't get a touchdown off that last one. Let's get a score on the board, and we're almost starting all over again. I think it's your demeanor more than what you say right now.
All right. The Packers are about to kick off. They're up 10-0. Patriots will get their 3rd chance of the game to do something with the ball.
They'd like Meggett to handle it. And he will. bring it out from about 4 yards deep in the end zone. Out to the shy of the 20 just a bit for his efforts.
There we see Bob Cratch, number 61, Pat, going in for the Patriots, and he's going in at left guard for William Robertson. Bill Parcells told us that he was going to put Cratch in. So I mean, Cratch, of course, was the starting right guard for the first 4 games, and then hadn't gotten back into the starting lineup because of injury. But he says that he thinks he's going to need Cratch in this game to get some running going, because to get running going, they have to be able to block those 2 tackles, Gilbert Brown and Santana Dotson.
And they hope that they can tire Gilbert Brown out. Pass intended for Byers, deflected. Bledsoe was saying how much he liked this field because it's flat. There's no crown here in the dome.
And watch Santana Dotson here. That's the guy that we just said they put Bob Cratch in to help block on those 2 tackles, and Bob Cratch went in, and the guy that he was blocking was Santana Dotson. Santana Dotson was the guy that knocked the ball down.
Here's a guy that's really been a big help to the Packers throughout this year. Santana Dotson. That's Meggett in motion, and here is Bledsoe with the screen pass to Byers. And Keith Byers, midfield, and into Packer territory, tripped up finally by Doug Evans. That's what they needed, a shot like that.
You know, when you talk about old-timers, guys that have been around, we say Reggie White needs a Super Bowl win. How about Keith Byers? He's here just as a fullback. Now, this is a screen. You invite the rush to come, and then you act like you're blocking. Then you get outside, your line slides down. You get a couple of good blocks there. And Keith Byers is like a 245-pound guy. So when he gets in that open field against those defensive backs, he is tough to bring down.
Pretty nifty, too. Here's Bledsoe to throw it. Drops it outside to Curtis Martin, and Martin slips a couple of tackles and moves inside the Green Bay 30.
Yeah, we talked about confidence in a quarterback getting it. You get it with a couple of completions, but here is the most important thing. Watch this pass protection. Boom, boom, boom. Everyone right there. You see the pocket that Bledsoe has? Now he can step up and throw the ball. He had time to look downfield. He had no one open, so he came off to Curtis Martin. But on that battle right there, the offensive line of the Patriots won the line of scrimmage fight.
Give Bledsoe time, and he can throw it. So can Favre. Here's Bledsoe back. Rushed hard. Incomplete this time. Intended for Martin. I don't know if that was a screen pass or just in a hurry or what that was.
I think it was a type of screen pass. They had run one earlier to the right, and that's what they wanted to do, is run it to Reggie White. This was going to be a screen pass, yeah, and he was throwing it to the left. He got a blitz by Doug Evans.
And there's a flag on the play. Jerry Austin is the referee. This is his first Super Bowl.
You know, Reggie White just took himself out.
Touching by number 61 of the offense. The penalty for that is loss of down. Second down.
That's Bob Cratch who came in the game, and of course it was a screen. So when you throw the screen, now here's Cratch here. Now he's just out there blocking. It's not his fault, but the ball hit him right in the hip.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he's just going to block. He's a big old lineman. The screen didn't get out. The screen was to Curtis Martin. He didn't get out. So it hit Cratch in the backside.
Gabe Wilkins has replaced Reggie White. And here's Bledsoe to throw quickly, and it's batted down by Gabe Wilkins, who just came in the game.
Yeah, Reggie's coming back in here. You know that big screen pass that they ran to Keith Byers? That was to run at Reggie. Here's Wilkins right here. Now, he really doesn't rush up the field. He starts up the field, then he just stops because he was getting cut. And instead of going down with a cut, he stopped, pushed the guy down. You see him push him down and then get his hands up. That was Ben Coates trying to block him or cut him. Gabe Wilkins played that well.
Yes, he did. 3rd and 10. Patriots at the Packer 27. Bledsoe. Incomplete. A flag on the play. Intended for Jefferson in the end zone. And a penalty flag in the end zone.
That'll put the ball on the 1-yard line if that's pass interference. I'll tell you one thing about these wide receivers of the Patriots. Both Terry Glenn and Sean Jefferson, they have great speed. Not good speed, great speed.
And great endurance.
Pass interference, number 21 in the end zone. First and goal from the 1.
All together. Craig Newsom, the offender.
And you're going to see it in the end zone. I think he grabs his helmet. You see right there, he's going up. You see he puts his right hand on his helmet and his face mask and right in front of Sean Jefferson's eyes.
First and goal at the 1 for New England. Bledsoe. Touchdown to Keith Byers. Bill Parcells said yesterday, Keith Byers is going to do some things in this game tomorrow.
Because Keith Byers is the type of guy that can do a lot of things. He's a fullback. He can be a tight end, an H-back, a wide receiver. The big play on that was his screen pass. Watch his fake. They get down here in the goal line. This is what you call a run pass. You see they fake. They have a good run fake in there. No rush. Bledsoe has time, and he finds Keith Byers on the end line.
Vinatieri for the extra point. It's 10-7, Green Bay. Not too much happiness on the Packer sideline.
There may be trouble ahead, but while there's moonlight and music and love and romance, let's face the music and dance.
Because life's a funny old game and your career may not last as long as you think, Ally Dunbar's financial plans adapt to help you face the unexpected.
Let's face the music and dance.
Are you all right? You look like death.
You should have seen the other bloke.
Ally Dunbar, for the life you don't yet know.
Yesterday's shepherd's pie's still there, because it isn't always removed by some traditional detergents. But now there's new finished double-action tablets, a unique 2-layer tablet for superior cleaning. The blue layer penetrates and softens tough, dried-on food, so the white layer can clean to a brilliant shine. The results? See for yourself. Double-action finish. Now in a new, bigger value pack.
Green Bay 10, New England 7, first quarter. A lot of people thought there were going to be a lot of points scored today.
And of course, the one that got it started was that screen pass to Keith Byers. That was for 32 yards. And of course, the pass interference pass to Sean Jefferson.
The one who got it started for Green Bay was Desmond Howard on his first punt return. Let's see if he handles it this time. Indeed he does at the 5. This time he is cut down from behind at about the 18-yard line. That's Terry Ray who is down. Here's the touchdown again, John.
Now watch the effect of the play pass. It brings both of these guys in. Here's Keith Byers. He's going to come back here. The closest guy who really gave him trouble is this guy right here. The umpire almost got in the way. But see the play fake? You fake the run. Boom, the linebackers come up. Duck, umpire, duck. He finally did. And there Keith Byers gets it. Now remember the one to Sean Jefferson? Watch what they did to Reggie White. In essence, they really triple-teamed him. Rucci had him. Lane had him. They got him on his back. That was the side that they were throwing deep to.
First and 10, Green Bay at the 18. Favre gives to Bennett, and there is nothing there. The Patriots are over with great pursuit. Slade, Johnson.
There's a football player, that Ted Johnson.
Oh, boy.
I'm really impressed with him. I mean, he's a guy that as a bright guy, a second-year guy, and he just seems to know everything. I mean, you just watch here. He's going to read, and the minute he sees that thing, he's always working upfield. You see what he did to that blocker? He just exploded on the blocker, knocked him into the running back. But I'm really impressed with this guy. I mean, this guy is going to be one of the best inside linebackers in football.
3 wide receivers, and Levin nudges over the right side and picked up a couple. Chris Slade again led the defense.
And that's who they want to run at, is Chris Slade, because Chris Slade is a good up-the-field guy. He's a good pass rusher, and I think if he has any weakness, it's running right at him. That's what the Packers are going to do, but he wasn't weak on that play. There's a guy, Robert Brooks, remember when he was injured against the 49ers, and Packers' top receiver.
4 wide receivers this time for the Packers. Levin's in the backfield. Incomplete, almost intercepted by Magruder.
Oh, Scooter Magruder was close on that one, and that's the defense that we talked about that the Patriots use. They call that their dime defense, but they have in essence a 7 defensive backs. 7 defensive backs, so they're going to have everyone double. Scooter Magruder was right there playing underneath, got the jump on it, and almost got the interception.
Hendricks' kick is going to be handled by Meggett at the 44-yard line. Meggett retreats, and there's no place to go as he gets back to about the 42-yard line. Lost 2 on the return after a 39-yard punt. Bernardo Harris down to make the tackle.
So the Patriots right back in it, Marv, and you talked about how important Desmond Howard's punt return was to Green Bay's first drive. The punt return coverage team for the Patriots really helped them out there.
Well, they did in that instance, but they did get back in the game, and a big play is a screen pass that got
huge play is the screen pass. Let's have a look at Keith Byers here, one of 3 Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl, former Eagles, along with Reggie White and Keith Jackson of the Packers. And you talked about the Packers running screens. The Patriots run a lovely one here, Jim.
Sure. I mean, here comes the Patriots getting them with a little of their own medicine, and Keith Byers came very close to breaking that for a touchdown.
Now then, the other big play wasn't by a Patriot at all. It was the pass interference call, and you had a friendly difference of opinion on this.
There was no doubt pass interference. I mean, come on, Gary. Here he puts his hand right on his helmet. Jefferson still almost came up with the catch, but that was blatant pass interference.
Well,
Craig Newsom definitely made contact, but you had a different interpretation.
That's a quarterback talking now, you know.
No doubt about it. Come on.
And no, I feel it's an overcalled penalty, pass interference. It changes the course of more games. I'd like to see it reduced in the distance of the penalty. I think it's a little bit too much. But it's a tough call. Maybe instant replay. Well, instant replay doesn't impact on that. That's an official's call.
And the result was that the Patriots got the ball at the 1, and this is what they did with it. Talk us through this one, Jim.
Little counter play there. Meggett, they faked the counter play, comes up throwing to Byers, made a nice throw, put it in a good spot. The coverage was still tight, but Bledsoe found the area where he could get it in.
And Marv, they're playing on defense now with abandon on that last series. They were all over the Packers.
New England has really come on defensively. They're swarming. They're doing a great job, particularly defending the run in the latter part of the season. And again, their season-long statistics aren't good, but the last half of the season and into the playoffs has been outstanding.
And so the impetus perhaps coming back a little bit to them.
Well, that's right.
No
and
doubt.
Now it's incumbent upon the Green Bay to stop them on this series because they're starting in good field position. And if Green Bay doesn't stop them here, the pendulum is swung full scale.
All right, Patriots back in the game and back in at 10-7. Here's the action.
There's a man wide open. It's Curtis Martin. And he gets to midfield.
That was the old bootleg throwback where they fake to the left and he bootlegs, Drew Bledsoe bootlegs to the right, and then he throws back to Curtis Martin. Drew Bledsoe's dad was a coach. Now watch him. You get a fake here, you bring Bledsoe over here, and then he's going to throw back across this way. So you fake it to that side, bootleg to the right, and then boom, stop and throw it back to the left to the guy that you originally faked to.
2 tight ends. Martin Little bit shy of a first down. He needed 3. Both of these teams script their first 15 plays.
And both of these teams had their quarterback in mind when they scripted him. You know, and you can see Bledsoe had 4 runs and 11 passes. Now here's the key: passes under 10 yards. See, of those 11 passes, 10 of them were under 10 yards. So they want to start Drew Bledsoe out with some passes to get that established, but shorter passes.
3rd and 1. Bledsoe is going for the bunch. Firing deep to Terry Glenn, who's got it at the 5. Eugene Robinson.
We said that these wide receivers could run. We saw Sean Jefferson do it. Terry Glenn that time. Drew Bledsoe had so much time that Terry Glenn could start on the left side of the field, have double coverage, go all the way across the field. Look, he's going all the way across the field. That's how much time Drew Bledsoe had to make a perfect throw to Terry Glenn. But again, it all starts at the line of scrimmage, because if Drew Bledsoe didn't have a good fake with a play fake, didn't have this much time for Terry Glenn to do that, then it wouldn't happen.
It also all starts with that call on 3rd and short.
That's Bill Parcells.
It sure is. Here's Bledsoe back to throw. And touchdown New England as they take the lead to Coates.
He got his confidence. I don't know if he had it coming into this game, but I'll guarantee you right now Drew Bledsoe has confidence. Bill Parcells is pulling it all out. He's going for it. Again here, another bootleg. And you're going to see him fake again to the left, a bootleg out here to the right. And here he finds Ben Coates, gets him against a linebacker. Ron Cox was the guy covering him. Coates working on Cox makes Parcells happy.
Vinatieri for the extra point. Tupa is the holder. And the Patriots lead it 14-10. How quickly things can turn around.
Hey, remember that long pass to Terry Glenn? It all starts with pass protection, but pass protection can be helped by a good fake. Watch this fake that Drew Bledsoe has right here. He fakes that ball to Martin, then he even bends over and hides the football. But look at the pass protection. Look at the time he has. He had all day to throw it, because Terry Glenn, to run that far, even though he is fast, needed all day.
Bledsoe with that 6'5" or 6-inch body just doubled it all over the ball and hid the ball entirely.
You know, and I think that's part of having a dad as a head coach. He said he learned things like play fake and screens before he learned how to use a knife and fork.
That's Ray Perkins down at the far end, who's the offensive coordinator, does the play calling. And that call, remember, was on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, and again, it was a great play fake by Drew Bledsoe and by Curtis Martin. But again, it was great pass protection by that offensive line of the Patriots.
Patriots lead it 14-10 as Desmond Howard is hit at the 25 and taken down there. The Patriots are excited.
You can just feel momentum change, can't you? I mean, this thing starts out, and the Packers came out, and they were all fired up, and early in the game, Brett Favre hits a big one to Andre Rison. It looks like they have everything going, and then it comes back, and then the Patriots get this thing back. Again, here's a touchdown. You see the bootleg. He's coming over it. Good pass protection, and then you see he has plenty of time to find Ben Coates in the end zone.
So the Packers take over at their own 25. Regular offensive set. Favre on the play pass. Has a man open. Missed him. It was Rison.
That's an area that they're going to work on. Otis Smith over there on that side, that right corner of the Patriots against Andre Rison. He was wide open. Watch him. Otis Smith is up there, but he doesn't get a bump. You see, he goes to get a bump. Andre Rison gives him a little move and runs right by him.
Whoa.
I tell you, if Brett Favre had just thrown that ball to the inside to Andre Rison, that would have been a touchdown. But that has to give Brett Favre some confidence on Andre Rison to know that they're going to have Otis Smith out there all day.
They better give Otis Smith some help. That's Levin at the 30-yard line. Right now, Ron Pitts has some information. Ron?
Well, Pat, after that last touchdown, when the Green Bay Packers defense got to the sideline, Fritz Shurmur, the defensive coordinator, immediately came over to him and said, hey, just relax, play your game, we're okay. Now, that sounded good, but you know, the Green Bay Packers on defense aren't used to being in this position that early, so let's see how they handle it. Pat?
You are so right. I think more than relax to know, I think they got to forget about the run and rush the passer and not go for all those play fakes.
Freeman was the man in motion, and Favre is taken down by the rush from the Patriots.
That's Teddy Bruschi.
Bruschi was there first.
Yeah, what they do is on passing downs, when the Patriots go to a three-man line, they put in Bruschi. And Bruschi is here. Now, he can either be a linebacker and drop out, or he can be a lineman and stay down. They don't know what he's going to do. That time, he just rushes. He just goes right by Timmerman. I mean, he hit Timmerman, boom, and just pushed him right aside and went right by him.
And Slade came from the other side, and Hendrick is back to punt. And the Packers have lost that momentum. This is a good kick, however. Meggett retreats to the 14. Up the middle of the field. Dave Meggett past the 30 to the 33. 57-yard punt, 20-yard return. Today's Fox telecast will use 29 cameras, including the eye in the sky, aboard the Bud 1 airship. This Bud's for you.
So that's what, if you're not in here watching the game, if you were outside, like just flying around, that's what it would look like to you. If you were watching the game from up here, you would go, oh, well, that's pretty good, I guess. Have no idea what's going on inside.
But it looks good.
But that's what it looked like from outside. Inside, this is where all the action is. We're talking here now.
Here's Bledsoe, another play pass. Fake. And Bledsoe just throws this one away.
We were talking about the things that the Packer defense has to do. Is I think they have to stop going for the play fakes. I think they just have to rush Bledsoe, and then maybe on the way, if the Patriots start to run, then maybe on the way to the rushing the passer, then maybe just run into a run. But I think if they continue to go for play fakes and get caught and stopped on the line of scrimmage like this, and to give Drew Bledsoe all day, he's going to eat them up.
Well, Fritz Shurmur said the first thing we got to do is stop the run. You can't be too concerned about that, though. It's a draw play to Martin. Martin to the 38. Patriots in their own territory. That'll bring up third and about 4.
See, what Fritz Shurmur says is he tries to start every game where he just plays 4-man and hope that they can control the line of scrimmage and rush the passer. Then if they can't, he'll add a 5th, which is a blitzer. If that doesn't work, he'll add 2 blitzers, which is 6. If that doesn't work, he'll add 7. If that doesn't work, he said he'll go to just a 3-man rush and cover with 8.
Meggett on 3rd and 5 is in the backfield behind Bledsoe. He comes straight back this time. Bledsoe for Jefferson. Pass is almost intercepted. No flags. No flags. Tyrone Williams, who's really starting to come on. Back there.
Remember that interception that Tyrone Williams had in the championship game, that one-handed interception? I tell you, because Jefferson has a step on him. Bledsoe threw that ball a little short. Sean Jefferson runs a 4.3. I mean, he'd be one of the fastest guys in football. And when he runs like that, you have to get it out there in front of him.
Desmond Howard back deep. Tom Tupa punts, trying to keep it away from Howard, who says he tries to make the first man miss, and he did it again, but not the second. As the Patriot coverage was good, Mike Bartram was down. Drew Bledsoe in conversation, saying, I like the way things are going so far. Next Saturday, the NHL on Fox, the National Hockey League, the Rangers against Philadelphia. Wayne Gretzky in action, and the rest of the schedule as the hockey puck replaces the football on Fox.
Well, we got a little more football here to go yet.
Yes, we do.
I think it's going to be some great football, because so far, you know, the Packers had the upper hand, and then the Patriots took it away from them, and right now the Patriots have the upper hand, and it'll be interesting if the Packers can take it back.
Last play of the first quarter. to Dorsey Levens, backhanded, underhanded, an Uncle Rube shot.
That's any time you start running to your left and you have to throw it, you just throw it underhand. That's a Ruber.
The end of one, 14-10, Patriots.
From now until the end of March, you will be able to connect 2 phones to one special talk plan with Orange Talk Share. There's 1 monthly charge, 1 connection fee, 1 bill, and shared inclusive minutes. The future's bright. The future's orange.
Every goldfish has 4 corners. Every goldfish has 4 corners.
The Goldfish credit card, accepted in all 4 corners of the world. Hold steady. Right, SB.
Marvellous. 3 laps ahead.
You've got to get off to a good start, Henry. Take your finances. It pays to get a good team behind you. Like those Equitable Life chaps. They see to it that you get more pounds working for you from day one. Not planning properly for the future can really hit you where it hurts. And we don't want to leave ourselves open to that, do we, Henry?
With more pounds working for you from day one, it's an equitable life, Henry.
A white tribesman always carries a goldfish in his briefcase.
The Goldfish credit card, as carried in briefcases all over the world.
Welcome back to the Superdome in New Orleans. It's 14-10 to the Packers at the start of the second quarter. It's 14-10 to the Patriots, I beg your pardon, but the Packers will have the ball to start it at their own 21. Let's go back to Pat Summerall and John Madden.
That had everything.
Not much pass rush, though.
Second down. Marv. Incomplete. Intended for Jackson. And there is no flag. Keith obviously thought there should have been one.
You know, look at this, how Green Bay started off. 2 plays right off the bat. Then they got their touchdown. That was Andre Rison. Then they got an interception, a turnover. They had four plays. And then, you know, they had their 10 points right off the bat. And then after that, there was 2 3 and outs. And now they're on their third one. And their third one on third down.
3rd and 6, 4 wide receivers for the Packers. Favre's pass incomplete.
Yeah, that's that same defense, Pat. That's that dime defense where the Patriots put in Teddy Bruschi, 3 defensive linemen, and 7 defensive backs. There you have Slade coming from one side, Jones up the middle, McGinnis from the other side. But look at all those defensive backs back there.
Back to punt is Hendrick and Dave Meggett back deep for New England. This one slides off the side of his foot. Meggett has to let it bounce. It takes a Patriot bounce and then a Green Bay bounce. The Packers had averaged 170 yards rushing per game in the playoffs. And this one so far only 5. 37-yard punt. 14-10.
Now, this is obviously the biggest game of the year here in New Orleans, but it wasn't the only game this week. There was an under-19s match between representative teams from Europe and Mexico. Great Britain had a couple of representatives, kicker Robert Grant from Scotland and wide receiver Jason Byworth from Battersea. Here's Jason's week in New Orleans.
I can't believe it's your first time in America. You're playing a game as well.
Jason, it's the Super Bowl. Jason, it's New Orleans.
Yeah, being around the Super Bowl is like a dream come true. I mean, this time last year, I was just sitting at home watching it, dreaming that I'd be able to come and watch the actual Super Bowl. But all during the week, there's been lots of events and seeing some of the stars. It's just come can't believe it, really.
This game is basically trying to show that American football is being played throughout the world.
Are you ready for some football?
So we've got a kid from southern Italy down in Palermo, which is in Sicily. And we got 2 kids from the Northern Lights team up in Finland, in a little town called Oulu. And we got a kid from Scotland. We got 2 kids from Spain, and really shows that American football is being played across the continent over in Europe.
We're coming over here for one reason only, represent European football, our respective countries and federations. Now it's time to take care of business, show them who you are, what European football is all about.
2nd and 9 for Europe from their own 33. 2 wideouts. Mueller looks right and fires downfield. He's got Byworth. Jason Byworth at the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Jason Byworth, 67 yards on the play.
I've just watched him develop over the few years. Lionel Taylor from the Monarchs, he saw him last year in playing a high school team. They came over and played the GB national team, the UK national team, and he stood out by far.
Jason is a really good receiver. I mean, he got picked as the only player from Great Britain, and they didn't even compete in the European Championship. They didn't qualify for it, so he has to be a really good receiver, and he sure is.
Now that's enough about the European Championships and my story. I want to hear more about the Super Bowl. So Gary, back to you.
Jason, it's too early in your career to be thinking about a job in television after you retire, but nice to see him doing well. He caught the only touchdown, unfortunately, for Europe. They lost 36 to Mexico. Marv, you get quite a lot of mail from England, a lot of interest in the Bills.
I do. I imagine 3 or 4 letters a week come from fans in England. Many of them are repeat letters. There seems to be quite an interested fandom there.
All right, let's follow Jason's advice then and get straight back to the game. The Patriots have the lead and the ball.
Well, you know, and again, if you look at all his successful passes, they all start with play fakes. Excellent play fake, and then after the play fake, he's also getting excellent pass protection. See, but every one of these successful plays had started with a play fake where he fakes the run and then comes out and makes a pass.
And he hides the ball so well
That's because his dad was a coach. He said he learned how to do that before he could eat cereal.
Here he is, straight drop back, incomplete. Intended for Ben Coates. That really is still his go-to guy. When nobody else is open, he'll throw it in Coates' direction.
And here's the guy that they have to block if they're going to throw it to Reggie. I mean, if they're going to throw it to Coach. You see what Reggie can do? You see, Max Lane got there, and he wasn't ready for him. So if you don't do that, what Reggie White just did to Max Lane there was what he calls a bull rush.
You better get ready.
If you're back, if he looks and you're on your heels, he's just going to get underneath and just drive you right back into the quarterback with his bull rush.
4 wide receivers. Reggie took the inside pass. Bledsoe is hit just as he lets it go. A blitz from the other side by Doug Evans off the corner.
Yeah, well, that's what Fritz Shermer said. He wasn't getting there with his 4, so what you start doing, here's Reggie. He's going to take it inside. Then you're going to see the blitz coming from the outside by Doug Evans. See Reggie White, he takes the inside. That's the right side. Watch the backside. See, it was Doug Evans. The minute that Bledsoe saw him, he knew he had to get rid of the ball. See, Evans is out there like he was going to cover Terry Glenn, and then he just took off, and he was at Drew Bledsoe's backside or blind side.
Tupa back to punt. Good kick. Howard handles. First man didn't miss again. Desmond Howard, after the opening return, which was a dandy 32 yards, hasn't been able to manufacture anything since then. 14-10.
You're late, you're late, you're late, you're late.
SB. Marvellous. 3 laps ahead. You've got to get off to a good start, Henry. Take your finances. It pays to get a good team behind you. Like those Equitable Life chaps. They see to it that you get more pounds working for you from day one. Not planning properly for the future can really hit you where it hurts. And we don't want to leave ourselves open to that, do we, Henry?
With more pounds working for you from day one, it's an equitable life, Henry.
Welcome back to New Orleans. After that early good position the Packers got off Desmond Howard's run back out to the 45. They've been penned back inside their own 20 ever since. They're starting this drive from their own 19. Let's go back to it.
In fact, on first down, you look here, their average has been minus 1.8. So they've been ending up in 2nd and long and 3rd and long, and they can't really do anything against that dime defense.
Here's Favre. Antonio Freeman, they're not going to catch him. Touchdown Green Bay as the Packers recapture the lead. A strike from Favre.
That's the answer to first down. If you're going minus 1.8 yards, just go for the deep one, go on a strike. Here's Antonio Freeman out here, and you just watch him right here. He starts out and he just runs right by his guy, and Brett Favre throws a perfect strike to him.
The longest touchdown pass in Super Bowl history, 81 yards.
He was
on to Freeman.
He got on Lawyer Malloy, number 36, who is a strong safety.
And the Packers recapture the lead. Favre, reason to celebrate as it's 17-14, just as we said things had quieted down.
Well, it's a game of quick strikes so far, lads. I mean, two players and then 2 plays again, and they're in.
Well, the Patriots went with bump and run coverage, a free safety deep. I think Favre audibled again. I think he saw it, read it before the play, audibled, got their inside slot receiver on a deep pass. The free safety for New England was not a factor. Hits him for an 81-yard pass, the longest pass in Super Bowl history.
And before that, the momentum had been all with the Patriots. They'd come back from 10-0 down, and they got themselves back in the game and started penning the Packers back.
It was all with them, Gary, and I felt it was a stronger brand of momentum than the other team had enjoyed earlier, than Green Bay had enjoyed earlier. And I had said they have to get themselves out of that hole. They did.
And they did.
We can see the touchdown now, Jim. You were talking about it being bump and run coverage, and well, Freeman's already beaten it by that stage.
Yeah, and there you see Clay. He is the free safety. He's got to provide a little over-the-top help, and he was just not a factor. Freeman catches the ball. It's a foot race, and he ends up winning, and Packers back in front.
They wound up having man-to-man coverage on a great wide receiver with a strong safety who really isn't capable of doing that. The free safety had to get over there and help, as Jim pointed out.
So is that a blown coverage by players, or is that a poor scheme by the coaches?
One of the two.
Whatever, it's 7 points for Green Bay, I'll tell you that. Actually, the free safety has to get over there. And it was a good play by Favre, I'll say that, a good play.
I'm pretty sure he made it audible there. You saw him, got away from center, looked like he was calling something out to the wide receivers, looked like a checkoff situation.
All right, great play by Favre, and as a result, the Packers are back in the lead. Let's go for the kickoff.
Antonio Freeman got on Lawyer Malloy. Lawyer Malloy is a strong safety, and he got, because Antonio Freeman was in the slot, he had to play him man-to-man. Antonio Freeman got by him and ran right by him, and the free safety, Willie Clay, never did get over there.
As we said, that 81-yard touchdown pass, the longest in Super Bowl history by a yard. That's Dave Meggett. Meggett gets out to about the 24. John?
Watch this. Here's Antonio Freeman. Here's Lawyer Malloy. Here's Willie Clay. He should be the help. He should get over there. He gets right by him and runs right by Malloy on the line of scrimmage right there. You see it there. And then Clay right back here doesn't get over, and Brett Favre throws a perfect strike.
And Antonio Freeman separates.
Right, and they were having trouble throwing on 2nd and 3rd down. So what they did is they started throwing on first down. That's what Bill Parcells is telling William Malloy there. You know, that we got to watch out for those deep ones on first down. And if you're going to get up there, you got to bump them.
Bledsoe, pass caught. That's Terry Glenn.
William Malloy is one of those guys that came out of college, and in college he was like a linebacker, you know, a blitzer, and you know, and he knew how to play press coverage, and he knew how to play tight coverage, and he knew how to blitz, but he really wasn't good on the deep coverage. That time he wasn't good on the tight coverage because he got up there on Antonio Freeman and he didn't even hit him or touch him, or he just whipped at him.
2nd and 1.